Well, it's another platform to do this like this on. And only thing is, the free part is only 40 minutes long. The To have longer sessions, there's a fee of like $19 a month on my end. Uh, so I wanna see what that does, but not yet. I'm working on some broadcasting tools.
How does it sound for the sound though?
So far, it was great. I am working with another group uh, for income, and that was where we went today. And I was like, I don't, what is this? Why are we using this and not Skype? So it was good. There was 5 of us in a group. It was kind of like Google Hangout, but better.
Okay, it says Zoom. So I will go try and learn how to do that. Yeah, I've been looking at different like jam things where the idea is that you'd be able to play along with someone else. But but the problem is there's the latency, which is how many seconds it takes to get from the guitar to the interface, from the interface to the internet. What the one
Yeah.
service does is I'm constantly hearing the last bar you played, and you're constantly hearing the last bar I played while we're playing, if you see what I mean. So if you're playing
Oh
very
yeah.
structured music, then that might work.
A couple of gigs that I did in Second Life, I have seen bands play, and they were spread out across the world. But again, the technology hasn't come yet. It's getting there, but it
Yes,
hasn't come to us yet.
yes, that was my impression as well. And I just said, okay, let's just keep doing. Let's keep practicing our F chords. I think that's keep practicing our F chords. That's the solution. Okay, so we're very focused on the metronome and trying to get on time with the metronome. And so, what we're going to hear this week, what I finally learned during practice was turn off all the instruments, let the metronome run so I can see where in the song it thinks we are, so that I can, which helps me with staying true to how many bars of what chord. And then, and it keeps the pace. Now, the other thing is, I'm using a slightly different. Space Oddity uses a 16th note strumming pattern. So instead of that, I'm staying with an eighth note strumming pattern. Like that. And so each of these has a strumming pattern. And the nice thing is the software will play you the strumming pattern. Make it stop. Playing on 16 notes. It's not 1 and 2 and 3, and it's actually playing 1 A, E, A and E, and then an upstroke on the E, 2 A and E, upstroke on the E, 3 A and up down. So I played with that at first, and then I said, you know what? For the rhythm, playing gives me, that's the interpretation of what they're doing in 16th and 8th notes, but it also hits on the beats. So for getting
Yes.
rhythm, it's 3, 4,
Yep.
which resonates with let's focus on getting it in rhythm. So this one's going okay. The challenge on this one is when we get to the chorus and we have to go to F and F minor, is I still got to get my F chords faster. Uh, but we'll hear how the. So what we're going to test on the first verse though is the sustain, and how's the sustain coming, and the musicality. How's the musicality coming?
Good word. Musicality.
and I missed the last two. Back to the, so I like it better that it's on the beat, still having trouble reaching for the F, as I said. And so I've still got to, I can slow it down to about 80%, probably 75% is a safe point for the F. If I do it at 80%, I can just get it most times. And right now the problem is I'm getting to the F, but not hard enough that it's sounding out properly.
So Bruce, when you're getting to the F chord, make sure that you let your elbow come out a little more. Yes. And yeah, bring the neck up. And what it does is it makes your hand go towards the body of the instrument, which will let you move more efficiently from that F to the F minor and strum up on the F minor purposefully, because it makes the F minor enunciate more because you're in the low end of that F chord.
Yeah, I think that'll help with making the F sound better right off the bat. So that's the challenge here. I feel like the metronome work though is coming well. It's on the beat.
It sounds wonderful. It's very musical and very, it has sustain. It sounds, I liked it.
Good. So I think that one's coming along. It's just the F, the C to F. And the other thing that lends itself, these strumming patterns that strumming pattern is clearly broken into quarters, so that when we're shifting in the middle of the bar in between two chords, then it's clear that, okay, you do two down and then down, up, down. So it's easy in my mind how to split it in between because it's starting even on the beat. All four beats are hit, if you see what I mean. Before, when you're using that rock and roll strumming pattern where you don't hit three, you just come up on and after three, it was harder in my mind to separate, okay, when that hits. Just because.
And again, it'll all eventually just be a feel for you.
Yep. When you're ready to retire, and I'm 89 years old, I will get it by feel.
I'll be retired when I'm dead.
Right. Someone Like You is the other one that I was focusing on. This is.
Wait, do it again. One of them's out.
Not buzzing.
Nope, it's good. It's good.
One of the guys, I was watching someone play guitar the other day. I don't remember whether it was at that show or whether it was on. They had a capo on, and then they hit the tuner and tuned their guitar. And I was like, you can't do that with the capo on.
If he was tuning to a different tuning, he could.
Or
he could have.
If it was just a chromatic tuner and he knew that with the capo on, this isn't an E, it's an F, and then you hit it and looked at the tuner to see, does it play an F?
Or he could have set his tuner to like 330 tuning or 220 tuning, or there's a like drop D tuning, or those kind of there's different tuning.
Nope. Yeah, that'll work. You can just put the capo on and then tune it to the note it's supposed to be. So E, A, so the A would be with the A would be a E. And then you can turn it to a B.
Yes.
But then I would think it's all wonky when you get back to without the capo on.
That's just too much work. Have you also?
I don't know. So.
Have you seen the tuners that are only half of the size. I'm not tuner. The
Okay.
capos that are half, they're like a K.
Yeah. The one that I was amazed by is it has a foot for every string, and so you can put whichever ones down you want to in order to go to. The only idea is how to go to alternate tunings without having to tune your guitar, I think, but don't know. So this one we're doing that little frill after the 3. And this is actually the strumming pattern that the person who wrote the cover suggested is.
Are you using the metronome on this?
Yeah, we're going to be using the metronome. I'm just showing you the strumming pattern.
Okay.
Same thing on this one. I'm going to turn the instruments off. We'll hit the metronome. So we're actually letting Ultimate Guitar play the metronome is the difference this week.
Okay, before you move on, you know where it goes dun 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 dun.
Yep.
I, you know how you cast a rod, cast a fishing rod. Do you fish? Do you go fishing? Have you been fishing?
Familiar.
So that technique of flicking, that's the strum action that you need to get that flick-a-da-dun. So you'll have it quick time, but right back into regular time. So it's a flick.
So let's go back and listen to the strumming pattern again. Oh, or are you referring?
Yeah, and since they're on a keyboard,
Yes.
so they're smashing down, da da da, da da da. So with your strumming, you have to flick it down, flick it down.
So you want it softer? Is it a dynamic?
I want your hand to relax more on the flick, so that you can get it. If you can relax your hand more, you'll be able to do it faster. Right now, you're all in here. You're all in here strumming the da-na. Yeah, you want to flick it. Do it again. Do that motion without strumming.
Okay.
But I can't do. Yeah. But okay, yeah. So you definitely need to let it just relax it a little, like you're gonna shake it out.
Do you want it quicker? Do we need it quicker? Or softer?
There you go.
So I think it's a combination of quicker and softer. So the dynamics, because you don't want that to stand out as what part of it, right? You don't want it to be. You don't want that to be as hard. You want that to be.
There you go.
So the other thing is, I do have my foot keeping time along with all of these, which again is easier because we're right strumming on the beat. The strumming on the beat. So I think I'm going to try and keep that sort of approach for now until we get better at timing. Until I get better at timing, because that's
good.
If that makes sense.
My professor used to call it walking the beat. You're letting your feet walk with you while because your body wants to move. You're just not sure what to do with it. So if you just let your feet walk, then you're keeping a beat.
Now, for our chord changes, what I was trying was, I'm going to put this over a little bit so it's not on top of your video. What I was trying was slowing the metronome down. Now it's at 50 beats per minute, just to do chord change practice. What I'm looking for is a practice routine just to help with chord change over and over and over again and trying to get the chords on time. And so whether it's C to F, C to F, C to F, and then G to B minor, G to B minor, or D to G to B minor. In order to help with all the songs that have, you need to play an F and get it on time. And so I'm trying to speed up my F to about, 90 beats per minute instead of 50 beats per minute.
I would also add to that, start with the rudiment chords, the A instead of the A major, and then go from A to B to C to E, F, G, and then go to the bar chords. And then Bruce, when you finish a chord, come up, come down, up, down, up, down, up, switch, down, up, switch, down, up, switch, down, up, switch. Try that for a second.
Let's put the metronome back on.
It's the upstroke that people don't like. They don't like the way it sounds.
That's too slow.
Yeah, goes about 112.
I won't be able to get to my app at 112, but we'll put it at 112. Now at 112, do you mean play the upstroke on the offbeat on the 8th, or play it up?
Go back to 88 or 90, something that's too fast. Let's see. What am I?
Here.
Yeah, because your thing right now is you like to down strum and then try to change. But if you down strum and then come up and then try to change, it's going to make your ears listen differently.
Okay.
Yeah. And then go to the bar chords.
I can get back from the bar chord in time, but I can't get to the bar chord in time. It's still taking, but I think it's practice, and so I'll put it at that and practice and keep doing it. The more I do it, the faster it'll get. So I'm not impatient.
That's right.
That's what I was trying to describe is, so the other one I've been playing through is the Irish Rover, which is a folk song, but it's not really difficult compared with some of these other ones. And it doesn't have any of the hard things, but we're putting it up at 100. This one's one that you hear at Scarborough Fair or other places. There was this one we have to use a metronome because that actually has the interactive version on the thing. They just have the chords. I wonder what, we were playing a rock and roll strumming pattern for this one, what I was doing.
is that a figure 8 that you're doing on the rock and roll pattern?
Perfectly. It's down, 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 up, skip, up, down, up. I do use an angle on the pick. It's a fun song.
It's a good sound. It's musicality good.
Hey, musicality. We got musicality. The my wife had got me as a present a new songbook with a bunch of sea shanties in it, and so I'm just starting
Uh-oh.
to translate those into this one. I'll sort it over again.
Wedding march?
What?
Is that a wedding march?
No, it is a march. Good call. It's Marching In from the Sea by Tom Lewis. She actually got me. It's a beautiful book. I'm going to hold it up to the camera, but it's called Worth the Singing.
Worth the singing. That's great.
He plays things like Renaissance fairs and things like that, and so it's all his songs written out the way he plays them with
Oh, nice.
accompaniment, and then 89 verses as one is wont to do. And but mostly it's sea shanties and songs having to do with the sea, and things that you might hear from. But we had heard this song "Marching Inland from the Sea" at Scarborough Fair a lot, and so it's one of my wife's favorites. And so she actually got limited edition signed copy
Nice.
as a 10th anniversary.
That's a good one then. That makes your wife a good one.
Exactly. That was she was worried I wouldn't like it because they weren't rock and roll songs, but so the thing on this one will be learning. I'm just now getting it put into the software, which is why we didn't hear all the melody. But what my thinking is it has the simple accompaniment, and then learn to play the melody as well. And then put the melody like on an overdrive guitar, if you see what I mean.
Yes.
I know too much thought for this purpose, but that's what my mind is. But just because this is a song that we enjoy, and it's a song you might play and sit around and sing, and then I'll get all the lyrics put in. After I get it all set up, I'll copy it out to the our shared file.
Dropbox.
So simple song, and I appreciate that about his songs. But I'll have to see what other songs he has that I know, and learn the ones I don't. So that's really where I've been focusing my practice, because a lot of my practice has been metronome, metronome, metronome. Make sure your foot is moving, and then going between space oddity. Oh, I do have, because you also said go practice the songs you know. So I've also done Eric Clapton's "Wonderful Tonight" the same way. Turn off the thing, and it doesn't need a capo. And
How does your practicing with the metronome? How do you see or not see that it has enhanced or not enhanced your proficiency at playing?
So I think it's helping. Um, it's becoming easier for me to, very easy to tell on time, but it's become easier for me to move my foot to the beat and get used to, okay, do that all the time. The for the for playing, what I'm more knowing that I'm on the right time, I'm more concentrating on making sure my G's have 6 strings and my C's only have 5 and my D's only have 4, and trying to get them to ring out that way. And so that's, I think that's part of the missing sustain is, don't get in a hurry and play a 5 string or a 4 string G. Make sure that you're playing all the strings on the ones that have all the strings, and then so I'm probably leaving off my E and my A string more before. It's because I still feel very comfortable just playing by ear, but I think it's a learning thing. You just have to get used. You have to get your time locked in. There's one of the great session musicians where she said, somebody told her, "Hey, you're dragging on that." And she said, she did session bass for session musicianing, and she said, no, that's not possible because her timing was impeccable. But then she went home and tried with the metronome and found, yeah, she was dragging on that.
Yeah.
And she said,
Metronomes keep you on track, on pace. They make you. So I love practicing with the metronome.
I don't. But I'm getting to where I like it, but I'm liking it better just because I hear I'm on time. In other words, I see that as improvement, and so I like it better for that reason. But yeah, then I'm also trying to mix in, just play some songs for fun with no metronome.
And Bruce, eventually it'll allow you to be able to throw in a lead or the melody, as you're saying, in there because you are on time.
I understand. Yeah, because you know well how much time you have left. We got time for this one, so we'll do one more. Was there anything else you wanted to make sure we talked about?
No, I really like that you took the time to practice the tools that I'm throwing at you constantly, because it will enhance what you already do very well. It'll just make you better.
I think it's going better, yes. And I think I have to get on time because, as you say, it's not a song, it's not the time. Or you imply the musicality is not there unless you're on time. This arrangement drives me nuts because I don't put the G with the tonight where it clearly belongs. But timing
What
on
is what is that? Dun, 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 dun. What's that? What chords are those?
Do You Feel All Right? G and then a D and then an E minor.
There you go.
Yeah, if I don't have the metronome going, I can play it the way I remember the song. If I have the metronome going, I have to have it. I have to have it straight in my mind ahead of time. Where do those fit? Oh, that was the thing I was going to share with you. A really important thing for me and my over fascination with things is in the Guitar Pro, you can actually sign up for their version of the music book. They have a songbook site. And on the songbook site, you can download songs that actually have the correct instrumentation in Guitar Pro and the correct measures. So it's actually showing the measures with the chords, which let me go back and get straight in my mind. Okay, this has a full measure of this. Or like in Someone Like You, in the verses, it's the same sequence all the way through, but in Someone Like You by the Adele song, so it's a G, B minor, E minor, C. But during the verse, each one gets a full bar. During the pre-chorus and the chorus, each one gets half a bar. By a factor of 2 going from the verse to the chorus. And until I could see that in music, it didn't make perfect sense. What I was doing before was playing it at double speed, playing 2 bars during the verse of each, so too much drumming. Playing 2 bars during the verse and 1 bar during the chorus. Basically playing it at with more strumming in order to get it split out. So that site it's a little kooky because they want a fee per month to download the files to your computer, but you don't own them unless you pay for that specific song. So pay me and pay again kind of thing. So it's good enough for what I want, but like if I wanted to save off a song or print out a song, I'd have to pay them for that individual song. The monthly, and it's like $3 a month. For $3 a month, I can access their catalog, pull it up in my Guitar Pro, which lets me fiddle with it, and actually read the sheet music in good stat. But if I want to manipulate the song, I have to pay the $1.99 or something per song. Now that's fine actually the way we're doing it, because $1.99 for each practice song that we're working on in practice, I wouldn't care, right? That's like you pay so much for piano lessons or guitar lessons, and you have to buy the book too, right? And this is the book, which is, it's this, like in this case, they have Space Oddity and they have Someone Like You, and so paying for each of those, so practice the correct, see it straight in my head. That's the only thing is on the campfire chord, where it's verse and chords. If I'm having to remember the way the music is supposed to be written and make it the right time and get the chord change in time, that slows me down. I need to write it out for this. Actually, it doesn't have D, G, C. This has D, G, G, C, and make a custom version of it and write that out so that when I'm playing it, I don't have to think about it. Yeah. Every time they play the G, they're putting 2 bars of G in here, and then part of doing for timing on those 2 songs, which makes them attractive for time practice, is I said, that's not what we care about right now. What we care about right now is chords, however they've written them down, play the chords however they've written them down, where your timing is on.
And that'll come again with feel and you being comfortable with your chord strumming. And it's always helpful to be able to see all of the sheet music for that particular song, because then you can write out what we call charts or music charts for sheet charts.
I agree. Then you can do your sheet, your real sheets for, this is just these 4 chords all the way through the song. But see, if somebody told me that for someone like you, it still wouldn't sound right because it's not. It's yeah, it's
Yeah.
these chords, but the timing completely changes in 2 sections of the song repeated, and so no, that won't work. Anyway, I've kept you over time. Thanks for being on tonight. Good to see you. As far as I know, I am in town and should be good for next week.
All right. Thank you for being here, Bruce.
Have a good week. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.